الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. What is it that our age craves? What it craves is peace of mind. What is it that it lacks? It lacks certainty. What is everybody running after? They are running after ways of detoxifying themselves, of de-stressing themselves, of finding some kind of refuge and oasis that takes them away from the increasing pressures of their lives. Every day we run after dunya a little bit faster. Every year we have a little bit less time to spend with our families. Every year the advertising men become just a little bit more frantic, and it goes on and on and on. The earth is yielding up its burdens, and soon there will be nothing left. The earth is polluted, and the human soul is polluted also. Humanity is crying out for what? It is crying out for tuma'nina, for calm. But that is the one thing that the modern world cannot supply. بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said it. It is through the recollection of Allah that hearts find peace. The modern world gives us everything except what we truly crave. And this is why, brothers and sisters, our responsibility in this age has to be not to be a bunch of confused members of a disliked minority community, endlessly pummeled and punched by the pundits of the mass media, the politicians, the cultural critics. Our responsibility has to be proactive. We have to be a healing. We have to offer to this society which is in pain, which is crying out because of the spiritual vacuum in its heart, we have to offer them that thing without which human beings can never find calm and peace, and this beautiful tuma'nina, which is the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has revealed the Quran as rahmatun wa shifa, as a mercy and as a healing. Are we that? When people look at us, do they say there is mercy and there is healing, or do they see just a disgruntled, confused minority endlessly reeling beneath the rhetorical blows of the mass media? What do they see? Brothers and sisters, all we have to do in this situation, not only to survive, but to triumph and to be victorious, is to be ourselves. We need to uphold the sunnah of the chosen one, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in its small things and in its great things. We need to be unafraid to uphold that which is mercy and a healing. We need to show people that there is an alternative to the mad culture of turbo-capitalism, to the greedy banks, to the lying politicians, to the corporations that are grubbing up the last pathetic resources buried in Allah's earth, after which there is unimaginable catastrophe. We need to say that there is an alternative to the collapse of the family and the prevalence of egotism. We need to say enough. And the only people who have the courage and the strength and the integrity still to say enough are the Muslims. Why? Because we have our tradition intact. We have our worship intact, unpolluted by the modern world, because we defend the way of the chosen one, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We have our traditions of pilgrimage intact. Nobody has interfered with them. We might surround the Kaaba with the world's most ugly buildings, but it does not matter, because the manasik, the practices, are intact. The fast of Ramadan is intact. Our aqidah is intact. Alhamdulillah, Islam is intact. This is the great fact of the modern world. Islam is intact. Nobody has succeeded in overthrowing it, in subverting it, in changing its essence, although they pray for that night and day. All we have to do, brothers and sisters, is to offer this as the alternative, to stop being defensive and to say, look at what we have, which is a path back to the life of the one who was khayru khalqillah, the best of Allah's creation, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The alternative to greed is generosity. The alternative to selfishness is ithar, thinking about others. And only that revolution in the soul which is strong enough to achieve that is the revolution that Iman can affect. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ تَزَكَّى. He who purifies himself has indeed triumphed. So what we need, brothers and sisters, in this time is to remember Allah's blessings upon us. We are now a quarter of the planet and counting. We have this extraordinary gathering and so many others. We have, alhamdulillah, so many great ulama. And we have that precious gift which is the sunnah of the chosen one, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the prayer and the fast and the hajj and the zakat and all of the other principles of our timeless, unchangeable religion. In this sign we will conquer. In this sign we will conquer, because all else which is based on nafs and is based on ego leads to collapse. In the short term or the long term, it leads to collapse. So we need to keep our cool and to remember that Allah's promise is true. And insha'Allah, Allah's party will be the ghalibun, insha'Allah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.